The Big Sky MX is the sort of pedal that I never thought I'd have much interest in when I was younger. For years, I was happy gigging with a Strymon Flint on a really modest pedal board, and I was as happy as a clam with that. In today's video, I want to show you some of the sounds of this pedal, but I also want to talk about how it changed my perspective on modern workflows and how this pedal became something that I can't really see myself without now. That opening clip was just about as vanilla as it gets, but it was extremely important to me that this pedal had a great sounding spring reverb. You have multiple different parameters that you have control over in the dwell setting, and then as far as the springs go, you can choose how many you want, but most importantly, it just sounds great. Something I've learned over the years tracking and recording studios is sometimes you want a hard commit to certain effects, and it's really good to do so. It can take a lot of the guesswork out of it, but with reverb, if you don't get it right, the effect is either going to be way too overbearing in the mix, or it can get lost in the mix. You might not even be able to tell it's there, and you might lose the desired effect. Now, with the Big Sky MX, I'm able to send a dry signal to the interface, and if I'm not happy with how it comes out, I can have faith that I'm going to be able to dial in exactly the right amount for that particular part, and I'm going to have it sound excellent. And outside of recording situations, if I want to gig with the Marshall Studio Vintage, which doesn't have any reverb built into it, this fills the void perfectly via the effects loop. Now for some sounds I wouldn't have ever associated with the reverb pedal, starting off with the magnificent Magneto. It's really just a multi-head echo, but that's semantics at this point. Strymon themselves made an outstanding video going over just how powerful this particular portion of the pedal is, but it doesn't matter if you use it in isolation or in tandem with another reverb, which we'll touch on shortly in the video, but it is so powerful, and again, it fits the theme of just being limitless. Here's Magneto in action with a little bit of drive in front of it. I want to show you a little bit more of an unconventional sound, but one that I've absolutely fallen in love with. I'm on the rhythm circuit of the Jaguar, and we got both channels on from the Pro Team. A wise man once told me anything less than 100% on the mix is a sign of weakness. I followed his advice. That was actually the Shimmer Reverb, if you could believe that. And yeah, it's just this gnarly sound. It's one that you might not appreciate in isolation. It might sound a little bit circusy because it is kind of cool like that. But when you're sitting and you're actually placing tracks into a session and you want to add a little bit of just flavor, a little bit of character into a song, things like that go a long way because it's not as apparent when you're sitting amongst all the other instruments and you have an effect like that. But if you take it out, you're going to notice, you're going to say, what's missing? And it's that crazy super Shimmer Reverb thing that I kind of dialed in there. Last but most certainly not least is my favorite reverb on the pedal, which is the Cloud. It provides this lush and warm and dreamy sound, and it was really the missing ingredient for the upcoming clip you're about to hear. Pay attention, because before the refrain hits, there's a bit of a pause. I want you to notice just how musical the decay of the effect is. Finally, here's a preset I built using the Cloud and Magneto together. I used the volume pedal to create some swells. After I finished recording all the parts and I was listening back in Pro Tools, it really hit home with me just how much this pedal changed my opinion on a few things. First of all, this thing sounds amazing through a mono amplifier in the effects loop. I'm not throwing any shade at it, but that's absolutely not where this thing shines. If you want to get the most out of this pedal, you got to use some sort of stereo rig. I almost left out the clip with the Dr. Z mic'd up where I was showing you the crazy Shimmer Reverb effect, but I decided to leave it in there to emphasize this point that I truly believe the best sounds available are via stereo. The other key to this pedal, which is something I've yet to mention, is the ability to route the reverbs in a variety of different ways. This really puts it over the top. You can run reverbs in series, in parallel, or place them on individual outputs. The sheer potential that offers in regards to panning and layering decisions is something that makes this truly a limitless pedal. For years I toyed with the idea of going down the rabbit hole of stereo rigs and more advanced routing, but this is the first time that the core sounds of this pedal have inspired me enough to want to do so. I also want to acknowledge that I do have a bias. I've been using Strymon products professionally for well over 10 years because I can count on them. They are roadworthy, they sound amazing, and they just give me the sounds that I want without any of the hassle that's associated with some of the other options that are available. That's all I wanted to say for today. I know that we only scratched the surface. In the upcoming weeks, we will have videos dedicated to several other applications with this pedal that have nothing to do with the guitar. Drums, vocals, and even some keys. I want to thank everybody at Strymon for making this video possible for today, and I also want to thank you for making it until the end. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.